Hi, I'm Daryl with 6 Mile Leather. In this video, we're going to be making a pad folio or portfolio. I've heard it called both things. It's got a notebook pad in it. It's got a pocket for folders, a card pocket, and a pen pocket. Going to get this done. It's a long video. I've sped it up and fast forwarded it a lot. Try to make it more enjoyable for you. Leave a comment. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right. I just want to make a better video for you. Hopefully you can enjoy. Thank you very much. Enjoy the video. I'm using a template from Maker's Leather Supply. They make a great product and it's easy to use. I'll be using Herman Oak leather, 7/8 ounce for the outside and 3/4 ounce for all the inside stuff. All right, front and back panels are done. This is the file folder pocket. Here I'm going to cut out the binding, I guess it is. It's the piece that'll hold the front and back panel together. I'm actually going to cut out the scallops there in the front, as you see. That was a mistake that I'll fix later. Here I'm cutting out the pen and the business card part. I'm going to mark the front and back panel 7/8 in from the edge, and that's where the binding will glue to it and be sewn to it. I'm going to do the front and back. I'm going to mark a 1/2 inch tooling border all the way around. I'm going to personalize it for the customer. He also wants a Bible scripture on it, and I'll get that done here in just a second also. Gonna draw a border around all the words. I'm gonna cut in all the borders with my swivel knife. I'm going to be doing a hand cut basket weave pattern on this front of this portfolio. I will be here. I'm making a grid to know, so I'll have the tooling areas. Just a quick strop of the swivel knife to make sure I get good cuts on the leather. Should have let the water penetrate a little bit more before I started back at it, but I got impatient. I'm going to bevel inside those cuts. Every other one going opposite direction to give it the basket weave effect. I'm using just a small vertical line beveler. Man, that was hard to figure out of my brain. I didn't like the way that was looking with that small beveler, so I picked up a vertical line thumbprint, and gives it a little bit more depth and gets it more into the middle of the square. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to pause the video and go ahead and get it done. That way I don't bore you. Okay, got all that beveling done, and now I'm going to do decorative cuts with my swivel knife, just to give it the wicker basket type effect. I've already done some and forgot to turn the video on, so here we go. Just making sure I didn't miss any spots. I'm going to put some decorative cuts in the letters, just to make it pop a little bit better. And beveling the border around the name and around the scripture. That'll give it a little depth. Time to work on the back panel a little bit. I'm going to mark that 7/8 of an inch in for where the binding is going to attach, and then I'm just going to put my maker's mark and a border around the back. I'm going to put a light coat of oil on the front and back. Well, not really light, is it? Going to mark the glue line where the card and pen pocket go on to the folder pocket, so I'll know where to glue to. Figure out that stitch line where the separate the card and the pen pocket, so I'll know where to stitch it. Now I'll go ahead and bevel and slick the card pocket and the pen pocket. Dye the edges with dark brown. And then put a little oil on them. I'm going to dye the border with, I believe it's show brown, which is a really dark brown. But anyway, I'm going to dye the border, and then I'll also dye the spine or the binding that's going to hold the two front and back together. Sorry, I got my big ass head in the middle of the way. Sorry, I got carried away and started gluing before I turned on the camera, so that's on me. Anyway, I'm going to get this pen pocket and card pocket glued into the liner, and then I need to go cut liners for the front and back pocket, or front and back of the pad folio or portfolio, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to let those get tacky. Let's put a little bit more glue on this one. If you don't have one of these to put glue in, just gotta keep the tip clean. Works like a charm. I'm gonna cut the liners out for the front and back panel. So my back panel is thicker than my front panel. Or no, opposite way around. The front panel is thicker than, I use a thicker leather on the back, on the front than I did the back. Just because that's what I had that I needed to use up. So I'm doing a 2-3 ounce for the thinner side, and I'm doing a 3-4 for the other side, the thicker side. So I'm rough cutting this. Just since it's a lighter, that way I can have room to trim and get good edges. But I needed one good edge to be able to line it up with. So that's why I cut this edge over here a little better. All right, those are my 2 lining pieces. I need to mark this. All right, we're gonna go sew a line right there and a line right there. Using Pro Resist before I antique. While those dry, I'm going to work on the spine. I'm going to bevel it and maybe, I can't remember if I'm sticking it or not. Hold on, you'll see. Anyway, then I'm going to dye it the show brown. Well, that's a flimsy piece of crap right there. Dollar store. So much for that. Sorry, I'd already done the other side before turning on the camera. I need to fire my camera guy. Burnishing the edges, Getting ready to glue it down to the front and back of the portfolio. Use Fiebings dark brown antique. Okay, I know that a 7/8, I'm allowing 7/8 of an inch for the binder. So I need to go ahead and mark this so I'll know where to put my glue. I'm going to get the front and the back sealed with the Fiebings TanKote. I'm going to rough up where I'm going to put contact cement to glue the spine to the front and to the back. I'd already done that before I started the dang video, and then also I skived the edge of this just a little bit. Probably not enough to make it matter, but I felt like I needed to do that. Went ahead and scribed a line 7/8 of an inch in, because that's how wide that border is on the tablet. So, I want to put a thin coat because I'm going to do it twice just to get a good bond. All right, we're going to let that dry or get tacky, and then we'll do another coat on it, and I'll be back. All right, it's good, ready to go. All right, we'll let those get tacky, and then we'll stick them down. Stick them down. Okay, got that glued up. Now I'm gonna go sew this. I'm gonna run me a stitch right down here. And I won't bore you with that. I've got other videos showing me stitching, so anyway, be right back. rough it up a little bit so it'll glue, the contact cement will adhere a little bit better. I'm gonna have to set this somewhere else. My workbench is not big enough, or I got too much junk on it. I don't know which is which. All right, we'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and put another coat on these two. Ooh, too much. Okay, we'll let that get tacky and then we'll be back. Okay. Spreading glue on the front part. Gonna put the liner on it. So I'm gonna make a real thin coat on both the back of the tablet and the liner, and then stick them together. I'm going to trim up that overhang of the liner. For the liner on the back panel, I just need to go around the edge because I'm going to make it to where I can slide the tablet cardboard down in there to where it will hold it. So I'm gonna mark that to where I know where to put my glue, and then I'll start gluing it down and get ready to, then I'll trim it after I get it glued down. coming together. Put a light coat of oil on the liner parts. A little sanding to smooth out my edges. You think I'd learn to tie that down, don't you? Got to get me a stitch line. So I think I'm gonna go 3/8. Three-eighths stitch line. And so we know that that's a that's a 7/8. So well, I got excited and almost sewed the whole dang thing up before I put this in. Almost didn't put this in. So I got to mark where my glue line is and do this real quick. All right, we'll let that get tacky and then we'll stick it together and then go back to sewing again. I get excited sometimes. Gonna bevel the edges and then slick them down and dye them. I think I'm gonna round the edges. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me see. Turned out pretty good. I'm happy. Okay. Agent. Get these corners. All the way around. Got a little bit of a hooky right here. Pick some edges. Alright, we're going to have to let that dry, and then we will hit it with some dye. We'll use the show brown again. That's the same as the edge here. You back? Since I've touched the center part there, I'm gonna go ahead and dye that after a while completely. That way it looks better. Marking where the tablet's gonna go, and then I'm gonna poke some holes and then cut a line across there to where I can insert the cardboard of the tablet down in that pocket. Let's see if we can do this. Without punching through everything. Ah, yeah. Yes. Got a little too much glue right here. Well, I had to improvise. I'm sorry. I had to trim the cardboard just a hair because I got too much glue down here, and I don't have anything long enough to get in there, so I'm going to have to get something to do to fix that for next one. But there it is.